All righty, ladies and gents. Y'all, I got a surprise for you guys today. I don't know where you've been for the last few weeks of life and times of a female entrepreneur, but I think it's going down tonight. I'm going down tonight. You are tuned in to 30 Women, 30 Days in the Life and Times of a Female Entrepreneur, where we talk about the real, the good, the bad, the not so rock starish of what it takes to be a female entrepreneur, being a woman in the game. Because sometimes as entrepreneurs, when people see us and they show up and we're kind of like got it all together, the event looks good, it was a packed house and the speakers were on point, but probably 5 minutes before the lights went on, it was a whole different story. So I have taken this platform and created it to show the real, and also show those that want to be entrepreneurs or new entrepreneurs that you may hit a rough patch, and guess what? It's okay. It's normal. It's part of the process. So I told you guys I'd bring you 30 dynamic, I must say so myself, that I know some pretty cool people. And tonight we had the one and only Aris Squires, and I'm super excited that I get to like chat with you and all that good stuff, right? I am super excited. So Ari, I know you, I know who you are, but for all the people that just may not be, just tell everybody who you are, about your company and the things that you do that are so freaking awesome.
Absolutely. First of all, congratulations, girl, to all you've been doing, because we met like in, I think it was 2013 at a conference, and just to see you growing and rising and helping entrepreneurs, I'm just like, go, 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 girl. I'm so proud of you for just sticking to it, because that's why we're here to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. It's not always easy. So congratulations. Kudos to you, girl.
Thank you.
But I am off too, an entrepreneur. I've been an entrepreneur, girl, for I think like 15, 20 years, full time, full time, in the grind, the highs, the lows. And so I've done several things. But for the last 4 or 5 years, I've been helping entrepreneurs build multiple streams of incomes in their businesses. So most of my clients are women who are really like in transition, and they're looking to create, a business that they can eventually walk away from. So my whole thing is product development. I do conferences, and I just followed my dream of producing a film, a documentary. So I am now a filmmaker, award-winning filmmaker. The film has been doing phenomenal. And just taking the stories of women from a book that we did, a book anthology called No More Chains, and transforming that into an actual real 82-minute film with actors and music and awesome direction. It's just been amazing, this journey that I've been on over the last 15 years in entrepreneurship.
So that's what awesome. So did I tell you how women create multiple streams of income? Like multiple more than one?
Yes, more than one. You have to have more than one. And I'm not saying, multiple businesses. There's a difference, right?
Please clarify that.
Yeah, not multiple businesses, not multiple niches, but, multiple streams of income within your business. I think that it's important that we have, there's not a number. It just depends on what you're doing, but you need multiple streams of income in order to keep sustaining, because you have to meet clients where they are. Everybody is not able, willing, or maybe ready for maybe your high ticket item. But what do you have something low just to get people in that funnel, just so they can still work with you and get and learn something from you, so that their lives are impacted in some kind of way. So you got to have multiple products available for people.
Well, I'm glad you said that, because people don't understand the magnitude of, they think they have one thing, that's it, this is what I do, but you have to be able to serve several people. They're just at different levels when it comes to their business. And you got to have something for the new people and something for the ones that are seasoned, but just kind of got a little roadblock going on. So you did the movie, right? Now, who the heck jumps out there and says, now I know a whole lot of entrepreneurs, Ari, okay? A whole lot of business partners of mine. Ain't none of them said, I'm going to do a doggone movie. What prompted? Now, see, me, I always think I'm the star. So, if I made a movie, nobody would say anything. But what made you say, this is what I'm going to do? I'm going to do a movie.
You know, I've always wanted to do it just to kind of go back to my story way before, you know, being where I am now, having 2 six-figure businesses and helping other people create businesses and multiple streams of income in their businesses. Way before that, I was homeless. I was incarcerated. I was broke. I was broken. There was a lot of stuff going on in my late teens, 19, 20, 21, 22 era, when I was trying to be in the streets, you know, dating drug dealers and having all of these things, trying to live this lifestyle that I wasn't even brought up in. And so I made a lot of bad decisions and I got into a lot of trouble. And so I had to release some chains.
That's where that comes from. Okay.
Yes, I had to, and my chains were my circle. I had to move myself out of the people that I was hanging around. And some of us as entrepreneurs have to do that today. Yeah. Sometimes the people that we're hanging around are our chains and they're keeping us stuck. So that was something for me. And so while I was incarcerated, I felt like I wanted to do this type of film. You know, I've always been interested in film. Yeah, in writing. I used to write plays when I was younger. Just something that I always loved to do. Write, direct, produce everything. When I was in the 3rd grade, girl, I'm writing plays on Michael Jackson and stuff. It's just always been something I wanted to do, you know. And so I went to school. I went to Howard. I know you were.
You know?
Yeah. So I went to school for television and film production. It's just something I always wanted to do. So it's just the right opportunity came. I met a director, and the women just came on board right at the right time. They shared their stories, and I just made it happen. I can't, there's no other explanation. I just said I was going to do it, and I did it. That's it. I made it happen. Even though I didn't know what I was doing. At first, I had to learn some things.
Yes.
A lot of bumps in the road, a lot of learning, a lot of things that I had to learn. But I didn't let that fear of not knowing what to do stop me, because it was something that I just always wanted to do. Yeah, I knew that it would change people's lives, and that's what it's been doing. So I'm excited. Super excited.
Awesome. So, Ari, now the average person hasn't been incarcerated. How long were you there?
I wasn't there that long. I was in and out of jail.
Is in trouble.
Yeah, I was in and out of jail because once you get that, you know, once you get in the system, any little thing you do, you're going back. Yeah. So I was in and out for over a 2-year period, and it's nothing pretty. It's nothing to brag about. It's nothing to write home about. It's something that I'll never forget. But I think that was the turning point. You know, sometimes everyone has a turning point in their life. You either get fed up, you get sick and tired, or something happens in your life. And that, for me, when I was in there, it didn't even feel right to me. You know what I'm saying? It just did not even feel right to me. And I felt like my life had more meaning, and that my life had more purpose, and that I wanted to get out and inspire people, and especially young girls, to not ever come here where I was at that time. You know, so I had to just do some soul searching, some spiritual stuff. I just had to get right with, I had to come back to who I really was and who I was raised to be by my mother, that made some changes in my life. So that's now what I inspire people to do through my events and, you know, conferences and things like that. So.
Wow. Interesting.
Yes, girl.
So, open the door. So, being in that situation, you have to kind of say, all right, Bob, Rachel,
right,
I love y'all, but I got to go.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
So because the thing is, we get with our crew, and because they've been with us for so many years, we grew up with them. That's like our ride or die, this road dog. You know, there's a code to the street. You know, we all know that. And you are true to the game. And you kind of just can't say, I ain't fooling with y'all no more. I done made a change. This is it. So it takes a strong individual to do that. It just does not happen. You know, you got to say, okay, I'm tired of this. Right. But not only am I'm not going to do anything wrong. You have to cut the people that are doing things wrong that are around you. But that's your good girlfriend.
For me, it was easy because in my heart, I wanted to do it anyway. You know what I'm saying? in my heart, I wanted to do it anyway, because when we're doing something that's not right, just by the law of the universe, we know it's not right. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't need nobody to tell us something's not right. We can feel when we're doing something that's not right, because it's just ethic. You know, we're just ethic. It's just not morally right to do a lot of the things that I was doing. The stories that I have and the things that I've done to people, it's just crazy. Like, it's just crazy. But I knew that this was something I had to do. And once I said yes, and once I made that decision, I felt good about it. It kind of gave me confidence to go out and pursue. I had to move. I was like, once I left Sacramento, once I met who was my fiance then and my husband now, and he encouraged me and supported me, and he was totally opposite than everybody that I was dealing with. That was my thing. Like, okay, he showed me what was possible. He was the first man I ever met talking about buying a home, you know, getting married, you know, those types of things. Like, it was just so different. And so he showed me something different. And when I got here to Washington, D.C. area, my whole life just changed, girl. Just, I could be who I really was. You get what I'm saying? Because I was being somebody else back then. So now I can sit in who I was. So once I made that decision, it was easy for me. I just packed up and left. Everybody left me anyway. When I was incarcerated, when I got out, I was homeless. I had one friend to go to. Everybody left me, and that's what happens. You'll find out who your real friends are. Right?
You're right about that. So yeah. Sacramento to DC, you didn't even stop midway like Dallas or something.
Nope.
You was like, I'm out. Now, your husband now, he didn't know anything about DC, did he?
No.
You guys just like close your eyes and hit the map?
Pretty much. He said, what do you want to do? He said, you're too smart to be doing all this dumb shit, right? You're just too dumb to be doing this. Those were his words. And I was like, I want to go and major in television and film production. And he was like, well, let's do it. And so I applied for Howard, and I applied for a school in Chicago, and we came and visited Howard, and we just fell in love. And that was just, it was over from there. It was over. But he's from New York. He's from the East Coast. He didn't like Sacramento anymore. He didn't like it. So it was just the right timing. It was the time. Yeah. It was the right timing.
Cool things. Okay. So, that right there is a story within itself, because you start from scratch. You get out, it's home. I got this one friend. So that means there's no family around. There's all the people that was down with me, and I'm down for them. They no longer exist. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to make this decision with this guy that I love him and everything. But this is all I got right now. So I'm just going to ride this on out. Right. That just ain't working. We're going to go cross country.
Yes. Didn't know nobody. He knew he was in radio, so he knew a couple people in radio, so he was able to get a job at a radio station in Richmond. And I didn't know nobody. I knew one person, and I didn't even really know him. But it just worked itself out. My mom, she paid for our first 6 months rent, because she wanted me to leave too, of course. So I did have her support. And so that helped. But we just came out here, and we're just natural hustlers. We're both entrepreneurs, so we gonna make it happen. And it wasn't always easy. There was plenty of time, especially after we had our son, and the ups and downs in entrepreneurship, where we couldn't afford groceries. We're literally going through the McDonald's drive-through window, scraping up coins to get something from the dollar mill to feed my son. You know what I'm saying? So we've had those moments. Haven't been all peaches and cream, that's for sure.
I was getting ready to ask you that. I'm just kind of like, your office look all cute back there, get your name all fancy. I was getting ready to say, now, when you came over here, it ain't just boom for you. It didn't just say, I made it, I arrived, I got here, and everybody's gravitating to me because they don't know my past. But it doesn't work like that.
No. It took a lot of work, and it just took me getting out, meeting people, and really just being proud of who I am and what I left behind. It was so new. And it felt so good. And I was in love, all that stuff. I say I'm not in love no more, but new love, new love can do some things, And so it was just it was just perfect. It was right on time. But I made the decision. And that's what we have to do in life, right? As soon as we make a decision, as soon as we say yes, then everything shifts. Everything just starts to shift. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Yeah. But was there a moment, because you did make a decision and say, okay, I'm over here, but I'm born to be an entrepreneur? Because, you know, you've been hustling all your life. You don't know, and it's hard. I always say I'm unemployable. Like, it's hard. But was there a point where you're like, okay, scraping up these coins out the ashtray to, you know, take care of little man? Is there a point in that journey where you said, maybe I better get a job? Maybe where the newspaper, because back then it was the newspaper, right?
Right.
Where the Sunday classified at?
Right. Exactly.
And I'm a circle what I think is going to help us out, because how do we get out of this?
Right. Yeah, no, there was definitely that moment. First of all, when I went to school, I went to school and I was in school. And in school, I'm sorry, no disrespect to the universities and the education system, but they do teach you how to be an employee. They don't teach you about how to be an employee. And my mind said it. So I worked 2 and 3 jobs, commuting from Stafford, Virginia to Washington, D.C., which is like an hour commute every single day. I worked on campus. I worked at the WHUT, WHUR, and I had 2 jobs here in Stafford, right? I was just hustling, but I got a job, and I hated it, because as an entrepreneur, I'm so used to doing things on my own. So I got the job, but then I quit, and then, like I said, you know, businesses, you have your ups and downs, ups and downs. I owned and operated a dance school for 10 years. That's when we met. Yeah. And I did that for 10 years, and it was rough. I had some great times and some really rough times. And so I did go back to work. But when I was working, it was very short-lived, Lyric. I'm not even going to lie. It was short. Because I'm thinking to myself, shoot, I'm doing this for her. I could be doing this on my own. You know? So my mindset is I went and worked for an accounting firm. I was like, I could do this. Why did I go and open up a bookkeeping firm? I quit her stuff and open up my own stuff, you know, because it's just that mindset. That's just how I am. Yeah, that's just how I am.
It really is. So that is just interesting. Now, the dance studio, I forgot, because I remember when it was like your last days of it, and I was just like, oh my God, she's giving that up. Because you have to remember, in the minds of the masses, we see this successful dance academy. You've had it for a decade. You know, we see all the little dancers, and it looks cute and fun. And we're like, oh, it's going to just like, what is she going to do? Like, what in the world? You're going to close, sell, get rid of, like, not do this anymore? What made you make that decision? Because you're an entrepreneur, you know, the kids love you. When you do stuff with children, that's the hardest part, is them. And so what made you say, I'm not doing that no more? I'm going to help entrepreneurs.
We talking about the good, the bad, and the ugly, right?
The real ugly.
A lot. It looked good. And it was when I left that business, I was making 6 figures in that company. But like, for the last 2 years of it, I was holding on just because of what everybody would say if I did close it. But it was rough, because I'm not a dancer. I didn't teach any. I had to learn how to teach classes because people weren't showing up for work.
Yes.
People don't understand. See, the business was Aris House of Dance and Performing Arts Studio. So it was my brand. And so I'm hiring employees. I had like 7 to 12 employees. And sometimes, Lyric, those employees were not showing up to work.
Yeah.
They were not treating the kids the way they should have. It was just a lot of drama that I had to go through to keep the business afloat. Now, I come in there looking nice and looking like everything is all good on the outside, but on the inside, it was tearing up my marriage, because I was never home. Me and my husband could be on vacation, and I have to figure out what I gotta do because nobody's there to open up the dance school. It was just crazy. It was just so much drama with the staff, to where it just, and then the parents and the hate of the other moms, and that's real.
Dance moms, like the real dance moms.
Yeah, it's just real. Let's just be real. Sometimes other women don't want to see other women successful. Let's just be real. And so I was dealing with all of that. And so for the last 2 years, I just no longer loved it. I love the kids. I still work with kids. I still have a program called Elevate Her where I mentor and I work with kids. And I don't publicize all of that. You don't see that a lot, but I still work with kids. I do entrepreneur camps with kids. That's where my heart is, of course. I do an annual event for kids, conference for kids free. But my heart was no longer, it was tearing me apart, and it was hard on my marriage. And so I was laying in bed one night, Lyric, and I was literally, it had to be like 2:00 in the morning, and I just popped up and I said, I'm closing the dance school.
That's when you know it's real. When you wake up, you be like, oh, wait a minute, where'd that come from?
Yeah.
That is a true sign. When you pop up, because that's how I do a Rockstar 360. I popped up, and I didn't have a brand of business or anything, but the name popped up. And it was like 5 in the morning. I'm not up at 5. I was just kind of like
me.
Rockstar 360. I said, that's kind of catchy. I don't know where it came from. I don't know what it was for. You know, but those are probably the best decisions when they come to you like that. And that's how you knew. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's time.
It's time. Because I knew that I was holding on for what? Just because I was worried about what people would say. But the good thing about that was that I had a coach a year prior to that, and I started working with the coach, helping me build my company now, my Profit Attraction Academy now. So that kind of helped. So I did have a little leeway, and so I started really loving to teach people entrepreneur skills. And I was like, oh, this is cool, and I don't have no staff. I'm just by myself. All I need is an assistant. Oh, this is kind of cool, right? Yeah. Especially as I love entrepreneurship. I was like, oh, this is cool. So I really started to gravitate towards that more, even though the money was at the dance school, but my love and my passion and my purpose was, in the entrepreneurship realm. So it was kind of easier for me to go because I did at least have another business that I was starting. Yeah.
Right. So therefore, when you go on vacation, you just take your little laptop.
It's just me. Well, now I have a staff with my book publishing company, but they're all, independent contractors. We got this.
Nobody has to open up the building. Trust me, I've been there, done that, and I'm running over because somebody didn't show up, and you have to be open.
It's your name. It's your brand. They're talking about me. They're not talking about those teachers. They're talking, don't you go to that Aris house to dance. They a hot mess over there. Don't go over there. They talking about me,
Yeah, and it's hard because I've worked with children too. So I totally get it. And you can't leave them on the outside of the building.
No, in the rain.
In the rain. So you had this transition, but thank God, because it's not till later on that we realize we need coaches and mentors and trainers in our world. And because we're natural born hustlers, we got this.
Right.
We ought to do this, But, how different, that can be when you implement those people into your world. And pay the people, dang blasted.
Pay the people, yes, absolutely.
Pay the people, all right? They got to.
Yes. Pay them proudly. Like, write that check, hit that send button proudly.
Exactly, because it makes a world of difference, and people don't realize that at all, you know? So here we are. We went from this extreme to, oh my God, how are we going to eat? Then we kind of pulled it together. We got this brick and mortar. And then I said, I want to do something else. And you made this transition. Now that you started something new and we walked away from something that was a little consistent, a little stressed, but a little consistent, did it just pop off and you was right back at the 6 figures and,
Oh, honey, I had to start all over again. Because, as a coach, as an author, speaker, it's not always easy to, you got to build trust over time. It takes time. Yeah. And so that's where I'm so grateful for my coach. I tell you, if it wasn't, and I tell her this all the time, she literally changed my life because she taught me how to do the things that I wanted to do. And so I'm just grateful for that. So it was very rough. For about a year or so, it was just rough. But the thing is that I did have my husband who, you know, was able to hold us down. But I wanted to give up. I wanted to go back to work. Matter of fact, that's when I did go back to work. That's when I started doing working for the accountant. So I did, but it was, when I say brief, it was about 8 weeks.
No, when you get that W-2 at the end of the year, you be like, oh yeah, I forgot I worked there.
Yeah, no, I can't. I just couldn't do it because, so I just pulled up my bootstrap and I got a strategy and I got a plan together. You know, work with my coach and just made it happen. And it got better over time because I implemented what I was taught. That's the thing. You got to implement what you
really
learn.
do.
Yeah.
You really do. And I made a statement earlier today about people treating their business like a side chick. That was my Facebook Live today, because we don't be committed. We're not married to the process. We're not married to the revenue that it can generate if we just get married and committed to the process and stick it out.
There you go.
You know, I said, I ain't never been married, but I heard it's work. You gotta be committed to it and making it work. So when you change businesses, I said, be committed to it. Be committed to it. Have the passion for it. Because if you don't, it's not going to work. And I'm so glad that you said that, because what we see is, all right, got it going on. She has these major conferences. She got these dope people on the stage. You be like, oh, you know him? What's his number? I mean, you got some real clevers. I was like, hey, bro, I forget why I'm supposed to be attending. You threw me all off. Like, wait a minute. But the fact that you have developed these relationships and connections with people, because I saw that you and Darren Henson, y'all was doing stuff all over the place.
And we're about to go on a 10-city tour. He's doing it. I didn't inspired him now to want to do more empowerment and helping women, you know, empower women. And so now he has kicked off a tour. It's a 10-city, so I can't do the first stop, but we're going to go and you know, just do some tour stops in different cities throughout the United States and just, you know, empower women and give them money tips, because it's all about, okay, yeah, we can make money in business. My son can make money as an entrepreneur, but can you keep it? Can you keep it? That's important. We have to learn. A lot of people are in business and don't know what they're making. They don't know what's coming in. They don't know what's going out. They're just all over the place. And we're not treating our business, like you said, like a marriage. I'm not taking it seriously. We're just playing around. And so we want to teach people how to really, really, really get this money. That's why I have people who are worth $450 million coming on my stage at Release a Change, because those are the people we need to learn from. We have to change our network. We really do. If we want to change our net worth, we have to. If we want to be millionaires, then do you have any friends who are millionaires? Do you have somebody you can call on the phone that's a millionaire? If not, you better work on it. You better work on it. And so that's my mindset. I know that I'm going for the millionaire mark and want to stay there. Well, I have to have conversations with millionaires, because those conversations are different, honey.
Totally different. Do you hear me when I say totally different? Baby, I remember when I had a conversation with somebody making $500,000. I was like, oh my God. Like, I remember that being life changing, because if you're doing 100,000, I thought I was good. I'm at 100. You know, I'm doing better than my crew. So, you know, I'm good. Oh, no, you're not till you talk to somebody that's doing better than you.
Yeah.
You be like, hey, people like us make that? Like, you know, that's, how you do that again? Can you show me? Like, it's a totally different conversation, because it's an eye-opener. And I'm so proud that you guys are doing that, because Darren Henson, you don't know he has that if you just look at his works and things of that nature. But I remember him speaking directly at me, to me, I don't want to say at me, but to me at an event. I asked a question and he spoke, and I was just kind of like, oh, yeah. You're right, bro. You know, I was just like, so, you know, he has that thing. So I can only imagine how powerful this 10-city tour is going to be. And is it going to be in DC? Is it going to be one of the stops?
Yeah, we're doing DC in September or October. Yeah. September.
That's hot. That's hot. I just.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
That is hot. So, but you do have your event coming up the first weekend in August. I do know that. It's every year, Release the Chains. And your lineup, no, this time is not in the DMV.
I know. I took it. I'm taking it to Clearwater because I want to just give people a different type of experience. You know, I'm tired of doing it in Virginia personally. So I want to give people an experience. So we have women and men. We got a lot of men register for this event because the men are always inboxing like, man, I see you only work with women. What's up? You know, us men, we want to learn about business too. I have a lot of male clients, right? And so I'm like, okay, well, this is definitely going to be open for men and women. That's why I have more males coming, like James Malinchak, and again, the $450 millionaire shark, the shark from ABC Shark Tank, Mr. Kevin Harrington. And at first, I didn't even know who he was until I saw him on James Malinchak's page, and I was like, let me check him out. And I did my research. I was like, wow. Yeah. So he's coming. He's an investor. He invests in women businesses, you know? So I was like, you got to come and share about how do we get these products and make them global? How do we take our businesses global for real? Not global doing stuff for free, but global and we actually really making some money on the back end.
Of course. Yeah. And James Malinchak ain't no small fry.
Oh, he sure isn't. Neither is Dr. Venus. Neither is Dr. Venus, who's also, and Shayna Rattler. I got a powerful, I'm talking about, this lineup is like, it ain't no joke. This lineup is, it's going to be powerful. Lives are going to be changed.
Right. And where is it being held at this year?
It's going to be Clearwater Beach, Florida.
That's right.
At the Hilton. So it's going to be nice. 3 days of business fun. We're going to have a beach party. Darren Henson is hosting our beach parties, like a white linen party on the beach with the sunset. So we'll be doing all that networking and stuff, but we're going to be getting it in implementation and just learning really how to create these multiple streams, whether you have a side hustle, whether you still working or you're a full-time entrepreneur. If you want to go from 50,000 to 150,000, 250,000, you know, how do you do that? What does that look like? So it's going to be good. It's going to be good.
Now, what year is this for Release the Chains?
This is my 5th Release the Chains, but my 6th event because I did 2 in 1 year.
Okay. Because I know you've been doing it for a while, and I remember, and I was like, oh shoot, she's doing her event. Then the next year you'd be like, oh, she wait a minute. Then the year after that, you'd be like, oh, this thing is getting good. You know, so super proud of you because, you know, I see that, you know, I just love girl power.
Yes.
And that's just how I am. I'm just built like that. I just think that we are women that can do anything. I just think we're strong. Hell, we populate the earth. Without us, there is nobody.
There you go.
Okay, so my thought pattern is just like we are natural born winners. The problem lies between here and here of why we can't get to the next level.
There you go. We're the only things that hold ourselves back because I'm telling you, we are super women, Wonder Woman, magic. We got all of that stuff that we get, the black girl, all the hashtags.
Oh,
yeah, no, especially the black woman.
You're absolutely right. So what would you tell that person that, because it seems like every scenario you've hit it, you know, really, really good, really, really bad, somewhere in between, then, oh, snap, I got to start all over again. Like you've hit everything that I think the average woman, you know, I got to feed my kid, got to take care of my husband, my household, all the excuses we could possibly come up with as women, which we do. What would you tell that person that says, I want to be an entrepreneur, I want to quit my job, but I got my kid, I got 3 kids, I got a husband, I got, you know, I don't make that much on my job now, can barely pay the rent. What would you tell that person? Because I think you've hit every snafu out there.
I would just say, well, if you want to do it, then why aren't you doing it? I always turn it back. If you want to do it, tell me why you're not doing it, right?
They got an excuse.
What happens is they'll start thinking about excuses. Like you said, the kids, the husband, those are not excuses. Let those kids and that husband be your motivation. My son and my husband saved my life. He bailed me out of jail. Like my husband took me out of an environment and took care of me for years and years and years and still takes care of me. I make more money than him now. I like to rub that in his face. But he like, go ahead, keep making that money.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. But I'm gonna sit down for a minute.
Exactly. That's exactly what I want to do. I want to retire my husband because he has been so good to me. So I let things like that be my motivation. So women, for those of you that have all of these excuses, no matter what those excuses are, let that be the fuel that pushes you to do whatever it takes. You got to get around people like Lyric who can help you change your mindset, give you the tools, give you the strategy. That is so important that we invest and stop doing all this free stuff. People will free themselves to death for these free courses and free. Come on now. You got to work with somebody that can work with you one-on-one, that can dig into your chains, that can help you specifically customize something specific to your brand and to your needs. That's what you have to do. But at the end of the day, you have to keep encouraging yourself. You have to change your circle and just keep stretching. And so people are like, well, how do I do that if I don't know how to do it? Get around people who are. I promise you, you will be motivated to make some changes in your life. I promise you.
Yeah.
Because you ain't gonna be one sitting around there not doing nothing, right?
Mm-hmm.
You gotta get around some people who are hungry, who are ambitious, who have success. And you know, I'm nervous. That first conversation I had, and I talked to somebody worth $450 million. I was nervous. I was stuttering, you know. Right. But then I had to click, and I was like, I belong here.
Yeah,
I belong here. And so we just have to just change the way that we think. You know, we gotta change the way that I think and take action. Period. Take action because that'll build your confidence. Mm-hmm. Every time I take a step forward, I'm closer to my dream. I'm closer to hitting my goals. But every time I don't and I stop and I stay stagnant, I'm holding myself back and I'm holding my family back. I'm holding anybody else that I need to be out here and help back, right? Because I'm standing behind, you know, these chains. So move forward, baby.
I always say, how bad do you really want it?
How bad do you really want it?
I think that's one thing. I remember my last guest, I remember her saying she would go to these conferences and her goal was to meet 5 new people. She had a goal. She would not leave until she met 5 new people. And she couldn't afford to go to the conferences, so she'll wait till like hours after it started because, you know, the front desk is a little lax. Mm-hmm. And she would go into these conferences, but that's how she ate. Mm. She would go to these conferences to eat and get a good meal because she was doing oodles and noodles. Right. But she still had the agenda, not only to get a meal, but the agenda was I'm going to meet 5 new people that I just snuck in here to get. Right. I'm not leaving here without my 5 people and my meal, my dinner. Mm-hmm. You know, but that's somebody who really wants it. Like, you're a bad mamma jamma.
But if you think about success stories and you read about people who are successful, that's another thing that I would encourage. You know, that woman that wants to start a business, but she has these excuses of why she can't. Read stories of people that you admire, who inspire you. Read their story. It has not always been peaches. And I know that's why you have been inspired to do this series, you know, sharing the behind the scenes of entrepreneurship, because you'll see somebody that's just like you. And that's why I did the film No More Chains. You see women in the film that are just like you. So it inspires you to be like, okay, wait a minute, that's my story. Wait a minute, I went through the same thing. So if she can do it, so can I. So you got to just read those. So, but you'll notice they made sacrifices. They were broke. They always were at the bottom, but that bottom gave them that motivation to bring themselves up. So there's no just straight line to success. I'm sorry.
There's no overnight success that people think that that we have. It's just like, really, dude, really? Do you really think about that? I always talk about the yellow notes on my door, you know. And I was like, they weren't love notes. They was like, get your stuff out of here notes. You know? I had a couple of them. I had a few of those. So, but, you know, I didn't quit. I didn't give up. So I'm a firm believer in telling people to tap into their inner rock star. It exists.
Yeah, it does.
It exists. I just, like you said, created this platform to let people know. But if there were no boundaries, I would be going around many stages saying, you can do this. You can win. It's okay. Push. You know, so what, you got 3 kids, put them to work. Yeah. You know, let them be your social media manager. They on your cell phone that you pay for anyway, you know, on social media. Put them to work. Yeah, exactly. Use them. The little ones can lick stamps, put them on an envelope, whatever.
That's exactly what my son in there doing right now. Mailing out letters, girl. Yes. I put my son on the work. Yes, he is personal assistant. He said he's my, what does he call me? My extra or something. He said it was some word he used, but yes, you put them to work. But then they learn entrepreneurship, so it gives you guys quality time together while you're teaching them something new, something that they're not going to learn in school. So yes, absolutely. Make it happen.
Exactly. And how old is he?
He's about to be 10 this weekend.
Oh yeah, earn your keep, honey. And in the meantime, I'm let you do this game.
Yes.
So you won't have to go through the things that I went through.
Yeah.
That's how I tell people, put your kids to work.
Yes.
Put them to work, I remember sitting on the floor with postcards. Come on, baby. Let's, no, that stack don't go with that stack. You're mixing them up. Come on. Oh, Lord. Jesus. So I just commend you for one, keeping it real, because that's the thing, and people need to they need to hear that. Mm-hmm. They need to hear that. Let me ask you this, because I know how big James Malinchak is. I know how big your panel is. The whole conference you have coming up the first weekend in August, Release the Chains. Do you just say, hey, I'm just wondering, can you do my event? Like I had the opportunity of going to James Malinchak's house in Vegas for one of his VIP, and he's like a big deal. Like he's
the real deal.
Huge.
Yeah. James Malinchak is the real deal. Anyone who's ever experienced him says exactly what you say. We got coaches, and then we got coaches. And James Malinchak is one of those coaches. He's my coach now. And the stuff, he calls it ninja stuff, he's no joke. So for me, when it comes to my conferences, I always have like an end game, and I know what type of experience I want to provide for the attendees. So I'm really strategic about who I bring on my stage. A lot of people ask me, can they come on my stage? And it's just not right now. It's just not the right time, because I do my events based on a strategy. And so I know in my head, like, who I want. Sometimes a couple years in advance. Like I knew that I wanted Jonathan Sprinkles to come and speak. I knew I wanted Zakia Larry, Washington. So these are people that I have on my radar, and I'm just building relationships with, because I can't afford them $60,000 speaker fees. I just can't. But you build a relationship, and you have a common mission and a common goal. You say, how can we work together to make this goal, to reach this goal together? Because that's what it's about in entrepreneurship. It's not always about the money, even though it is always about the money. But you just find this common goal. So for me, I'm strategic. I reach out. I do so many behind the scenes deals for some of my clients, working proposals and helping them raise hundreds and thousands of dollars for their ideas and for their businesses. So I don't have no problem picking up a phone. I don't have any problem asking somebody who has the same mission as me. Kevin Harrington from Shark Tank, he is really passionate about women empowerment and helping women entrepreneurs get these millions. So why wouldn't I ask them to come on my platform? So I just ask. And we work the deal, honey.
I know, that's right. But it's built upon relationships. And I was just speaking with someone, and I'm guilty of it, because a lot of times I'll see something on social media and I'll like it because they're having a great event or something. But I also need to engage. You got to build these relationships. I not only need to like your event post, I need to say, girl, that is hot. You got so. Like the engagement piece, because it builds the relationships. And I told them I'm guilty because I need to slow down, because that's part of building these relationships. And some of them start on social media. Yeah. Talking to people. Hey, that's a nice shirt. Sorry to hear about your loss. Or, trust me, that stuff works.
Yeah. But the best way to make magic happen is one-on-one. That's why me and you are here today. We met at a conference where there were other women there of like minds. We met in an environment that was empowering, uplifting, positive, right? So of course, those types of places are going to attract people like that.
Yes.
So relationships are great. Paul C. Brunson is like one of my, I'm not gonna say bestie, but we're very good friends. And it was just like you said, liking his posts, having him on my watch list, you know, wanting to come and build a relationship with him because I love what he does. And it started with that social media engagement. But the magic happened when we met in person, you know, and sometimes you just got to go and find out where are these people going to be and invest your money, because you're investing in your brand, you're investing in your future, and you go and show up where they're going to be and you build that relationship, because that's where the magic happens, that one-on-one interaction. Yeah, absolutely.
I totally agree. And I remember at that conference where I met you and other dynamic women, that was my first conference.
Mine too.
Really?
Yeah, mine too.
Oh my gosh. I was like, that was my first conference. That's when I made a decision. Let me check out something different, because what I'm doing, it's not working. And I remember my crew calling me the conference junkie, because I just kept going by myself. My friends didn't want to go to these conferences. And then I met dynamic women like you, and I was like, oh, there's some people like me.
Yeah.
You know? And I just kept going, and my network just kind of grew.
Yeah.
From there. So I just know so many people now. It's like, to be able to pick up the phone and say, you think you can do my little show, please?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's these relationships, but had I stayed just with my crew, it would have never happened. So I didn't know that was your first event either. How cool.
And I went by myself too. I wasn't going to wait for nobody to say yes. I went by myself. All by my little self.
Right. And so, and now you got to get to a certain level where now we need to go into different type of events and just kind of different arenas now. Because now that you know.
Yes. And everybody don't have to look like, I'm all about Black power and Black love and Black community, but everybody that a lot of my two highest ticket clients are not, they don't look like me. They're not the same shade as me at all. Totally just opposite. But you know, we gotta, money's green, right? The people that we want to help are people who need our help, no matter what they look like, no matter what, right? No matter what. But we gotta change our circles. We gotta stop the same circles, the same cliques, the same communities. Like, try something different. Yeah,
no, you're absolutely right. Because I remember one of my mentors, he told me, he said, Derek, if you want to go to higher heights, have a little mix in your crew. Have some people on your team that don't always look like us.
There you go.
Yep. You know, and it was nothing against us, you know, because I got plenty of those. But he said, if you just want to go to another level, it's just something else going on there when you have a mix.
There you go. And I say, bring it back. You know, learn what you learn and take what you can get, but bring it back to your community. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm doing with Release the Change this year. I'm bringing it back to my peoples. You just gotta show up. You
just have to show up, and that's the
girl.
Look, you saw me get real close in, right?
You like
like
you gotta tell me a secret.
I'm talking about, you know, I'm such a helper. I'm such a pusher. Come on, you can do it. Don't worry, I'll show you how to write the doggone email. Let's go. And then they don't show up.
Yeah.
And be like, you didn't help me. One, I don't have time.
Right.
You know, I'm extremely busy. You know, I'm sitting here with these puppy eyes now because I made a commitment to do this. So I have to show up. So if I make a commitment to help you, show up.
Exactly. Yeah.
But guess what? It's okay. It's okay. But, you know, I think it frustrates me because I just want everybody to win. And I don't understand how you don't have the drive I have, but I have to realize everybody doesn't have it. But if you say you want it bad enough.
But I don't worry about them. Like, I don't do early bird ticket prices no more. I don't do all these gimmicks and all this crazy stuff to get people. You either going to come or you're not going to come. Because you already know I'm coming. Okay, but you ain't about your ticket yet, but okay, whatever. I'm like, I'm like what Vicky Urban said, only focus on those people who are interested in what you're selling and what you're doing. You can't worry about they'll come around one day. You know, a lot of people talk about, oh, I don't have support from my friends and family. Who cares? They'll come around one day. Focus on the people that do support you. Focus on the ones that are celebrating and clapping for you, girl. I keep a clapper because I will clap for somebody. You know, sometimes I just gotta clap for myself. Sometimes I'm up in here working in my office, I just gotta clap like yes, you know. But you gotta be around people who who celebrate you and who support you. You can't worry about. I'm tired. It's too draining. I don't have time to, and I've lost friendships, you know, because of that, because I just don't have time to be trying to bring you up and you're not ready. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully they'll watch, you know, my journey and watch your journey and they'll come on board. But if not, I'm not going to sit around and worry about it. I wish you well. I wish you the best. I hope, you know, that you make it happen, but I can't sit around here and worry about you. That's just, it's too bad.
You said no early bird specials.
I don't do early bird specials no more. Because they don't buy the early bird special anyway. They wait to the last minute anyway. So I'm like, well, these are the ticket prices. Just go, come on, you know, when you come in, because they don't do it. These are the prices. Make it happen. Make it happen. If you really want it, you'll make it happen. I don't worry about those that got all those excuses, you know, but that's why they should be there, so they can start to, you know, eliminate that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Eliminate those things that are keeping them stuck. Like, come, if you stretch yourself, you don't know, you have no idea who you're going to be sitting next to. You have no idea about the energy that's going to be there. You have no idea. So just show up and go see how your life is about to change. Conferences, coaches, in this field that I'm in this arena right now, where my business is and where I am right now, I'm telling you, has been because I stretched myself and I did those things, come into a conference because I felt like I had to be there. And it just literally changed my life, my financial life. I'm debt free. Just everything has just completely changed just because of those decisions that I made. So,
wow. Do you think you'll ever do a brick and mortar again? A business that
I thought I would like to do a school for young kids, because, you know, a lot of these kids now, they're younger and they're jumping into entrepreneurship. So I would do like an academy, you know, for kids. But I don't know. I like, you know, because I have an office. Now this is where I am now. I do have an office downtown Fredericksburg, but then I have an office at home, which is where it's messy and where I really get the work in, where I'm in my pajamas and the head scarf and all that stuff, right? But so I do have an office space and I have a conference room in here, so for my masterminds and things like that. But I'm not interested in that because my overhead was like $10,000 a month with employees, taxes, cable, electricity. I'm paying all that at my house. Air condition. If something breaks, I gotta fix, you know. So my overhead was high. I'm good. I like my little $1,000 overhead over here. I'm not complaining. So no, I don't see that in my future. I don't see that in my future. Nah.
And why not? If it's working for you and you're doing great and you love what you do, that's the thing. And then I see you get back with the kids and, you know, things of that nature.
It's coming. It's coming. Yeah. I'm going to do my next youth takeover in November. I'm trying to get all the dates from Darren Henson for this tour, but and then I'm going to Barbados. So I'm trying to get my November date for my youth conference that I do annually for the kids. And we get like 100 to 200 kids come out, and, you know, they love it because it's just different. It's empowering. They get to talk amongst each other. I don't have people on stage talking at them and preaching to them. We ain't none of that. They get to ask questions. You know what I'm saying? You know how you go to church and you got the preacher preaching to you. Well, this is an environment where it's interactive and the kids can get their burning questions answered in a very positive environment and have a lot of good examples of people who have struggled, who have been where they are, and that they can relate to. So I'll be sharing that day. And it's free. It's a totally free event for the kids. So those things get excited.
And that's going to be in Virginia too?
It'll be in Fredericksburg, Virginia.
Fredericksburg. Mm-hmm. Okay, cool beans.
Yeah.
I appreciate you, girlie. We're coming up on our hour, and I always ask everybody, Ari, if you weren't doing what you're doing, helping entrepreneurs, there are no boundaries. Money's not a concern. and not being able to is not a concern. No boundaries. What would Ari be doing if she wasn't doing what she's doing now?
You mean to make money or just in general?
No, just it don't have anything to do with money. It's just like, would you be an astronaut? Like, just what would that thing be if you didn't do this?
I don't know. I like to travel. So it would have to be something where I'm traveling around the world. But I really think that I would be in a space of working with kids, with girls, you know, because of my background and because of what I went through. You know, everything that we do in life now, it all goes back to our story. You know what I'm saying? Like the things that we went through is for a reason. It's our purpose in life. And so I would be working with kids in some kind of capacity. Yeah.
So you'd be overseas saving the world.
I think so. I'll be in Africa, girl. I'll be in Africa. I wouldn't mind moving to Africa, and that's real talk.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I lived there when I was 5, so I don't remember much. I always say I got to go back as an adult so I can just inhale the culture and, you know, have that experience, because that's what that is. It's an experience.
Yeah.
You know, Dr. Vicki Johnson says she would be a travel a lot, and she'd just be like a travel blogger.
Yeah.
You know, just travel and talk about it.
Yeah.
So
I love traveling. I love traveling.
that's amazing. So I know you have something for our audience. Why don't you just give them a site and all your stuff, Ari, so they can just kind of connect directly with you and be a part of it, because it's so dynamic. Because I mean, we probably watched each other really, but you have kind of went leaps and bounds, and I'm listening to you and I was just like, this girl right here is hot. And I know I'm not the only one that thinks that. And if they're crazy, if they don't get within your network, you know, and soak up everything that you have for them, and just be a part of what you have going on. So I want to make sure that everybody within the sound of our voice know how to get in contact with you, how to set up a conversation, and, you know, get the coaching and the training that they need to be great.
Yeah, well, there's various ways. Of course, I'm always available for consultation. Sometimes I do what I do, like a push plan, and help people get clarity just on what they're doing. You know, whether you're making no money to 50,000 in your business, is always a next level. There's always something that you could do to increase. And so I'm always available for consultations. I do have like a free product that I offer, which is really good. People are like, what? I would have paid for this, but it's a 7-day series that teaches every day. It's a video course where I come into your inbox and I teach you 7 different ways to flip, to produce, orchestrate, automate, and flip 7 different products 7 different ways. So I'm all about those multiple streams. I'm all about those multiple streams. I'm telling you, give me an idea and I'm going to show you how we can flip that. And my clients will testify to that, how we can flip that 7 different ways. So go to products that sell, and that's SELL.biz. Products that sell.biz, totally free. And as a bonus, there's also a ebook in there about how to attract buyers, investors, and high ticket clientele to you. Like, how do you attract? I've had people invest in my business just because I've attracted them to me because of how I position my brand. And the same thing that I've been able to do for my clients. So that's in there too as a bonus. It's 11 different methods. So products that sell.biz. I'm at arisquires.com. On social media, I'm on Aris Squires Speak. I love Instagram. I love Facebook. LinkedIn. Just connect me. Just say hello, what's up, inbox me, whatever.
Build those relationships and show up and release the chains. First weekend in August in the sunshine.
Yes, on the beach. When your hotel room, I've negotiated the deal where everyone who comes, they get a room with an ocean view, honey, for only $150, child. Yes, I negotiate that. So I'm working for my people here now. I'm trying to give us an experience, right? So yes, everyone gets a beach view when they book it through my link. But yes, it's gonna be live. I'm telling you, this is my best. The tickets have been selling the fastest for this event than any of my other conferences, because I really believe people see the value. It's different. It's different.
Yeah, it's different. And then, you know, after hearing your story and then looking at the event. That's a long way, baby. You have done excellent.
Thank you, honey.
Little girl from Sacramento,
Yeah.
you know, and here we are in Clearwater, Florida with multi-millionaires, you know, saying, hey, Ari, hey, how y'all doing? You know, that's the problem. Like I'm a cheerleader. I'm a cheerleader for stuff like that. And, you know, I'm a supporter of stuff like that because I just want everybody to win. And it just shows if you're not doing nothing, it's because you don't want to do something when you hear stories like this. So I appreciate you and gracing our platform and being so real and helping those out there that are just a little stuck, but they should be unstuck because they're going to connect with you because that foundation and knowing how to do it and what to do is very much needed. And I think that's where we get stuck at because we don't know where to begin.
I agree.
So I say you begin at productsthatsell.biz.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And connect with you and let's go. Why not?
Let's release the chains, girl.
Let's release the chains. So I appreciate you, ladies.
Yes.
Rock stars, baby. So I appreciate you gracing us with your presence and being allowing us to have you on the platform. And ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, you better know. So you need to connect with her. And this is what goes on behind the scenes in the life and times of a female entrepreneur. It's not always glory. It's not always shiny. It doesn't always sparkle. But persistence, hard work, dedication, commitment, married to the game, it pays off. Or you just had to be ready. You ready or not? So Life and Times 360. Go over to our Facebook page, Life and Times of a Female Entrepreneur. Join the conversation. Introduce yourself, where you are, what part of the country you live in, and what you do. Let everybody know. Introduce yourself. So again, I appreciate you being on our platform. And
thank you for having me. Thank you so much for thinking of me. And I love sharing. I love, sharing wisdom. Anybody looking for a speaker, I'm always looking to speak and just share the love and the knowledge and the information. So thank you for having me. This has been fun.
Yes, and if there's anything you need, even if it's with the young girls, whatever that is,
yes.
I'm here for you.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. Love you. Love you.
Love you back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you next week.
Good night.